Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to break down a skill you hear about all the time, from job postings to leadership courses, critical thinking. But you know what? It's so much more than just a corporate buzzword. It's a seriously powerful tool that helps you make way better decisions and cut through complex problems. So let's get past the jargon and really figure out what it means to think critically.
So let's just get right to it. We throw this term around constantly, but what does it actually mean? What is really going on in our heads when we're doing it right?
Okay, first things first, let's build our foundation. We're going to strip away all the fluff and get right to the heart of what this skill is really all about.
You know, the key thing to notice in this definition is that it's an active process. This isn't about passively soaking up information like a sponge. No, it's about getting in there and wrestling with it, questioning it, taking it apart, and looking under the hood to see if a claim actually holds up.
So how do we actually do that? Well, it breaks down into these 6 key steps. It all starts with analyzing information, breaking big ideas down into smaller pieces. Then you evaluate arguments, figuring out if someone's reasoning is strong or weak. A huge one is recognizing assumptions. What's everyone just taking for granted? From there, you draw inferences to come to your own logical conclusions. You assess the evidence to see if the facts actually back up what's being said. And finally, and this is a tough one, you work on avoiding bias by spotting the things that might be clouding your own judgment. These are the real nuts and bolts.
Now let's talk about why this is so much more than just a mental exercise. Because in the real world, in your job, this skill isn't just nice to have. It's a legit workplace superpower.
I mean, just think about your typical day at work. You're in a meeting and you've got 2 people making totally opposite points. Critical thinking helps you figure out which argument actually makes sense. Or maybe you get a report full of numbers. This skill helps you analyze what's really going on, not just react to the headline. It's the thing that lets you see what isn't being said, come up with ideas you can actually defend, and get your own points across with total clarity.
And this quote right here, it just nails it. Companies, organizations, they need people who can cut through all the noise, make good calls, and solve problems without getting dragged down by emotions or bad info. This is the skill that pushes things forward. So, with all that in mind, let's dig into what this looks like at different levels. And listen, this isn't about getting a grade or being judged. Think of this as a guide to understanding where your strengths are right now, and most importantly, the awesome and unique contribution you can make to your team starting today.
Let's start with scores in that first bracket, from 0 to 25%.
If this is where you land, it might just mean you tend to take information as it comes. But here's your superpower. You can be the person who grounds the whole team. You can be the one in a fast-paced meeting who puts up their hand and says, "Hang on a second, do we actually have all the facts here?" By doing that, you become this crucial safeguard that stops the team from rushing ahead based on a hunch.
And the best part? This is such a great place to be because your path forward is super clear. You can make huge improvements really fast.
All right, moving up. Let's talk about the 25 to 50% range, where you're really starting to build a solid base.
At this level, you've got a good handle on the basics. You can tell when a simple argument just doesn't quite add up. So what's your contribution? You are the voice of clarity. When a conversation gets way too complicated or full of jargon, you're the one who can bring everyone back down to earth, point out the simple logic, and ask the questions that make sure everyone's on the same page. You stop the team from getting lost.
And that is a massive strength. You're the team's reality check, making sure that even the biggest, most complex plans are built on a foundation of logic that actually makes sense. Now, as we get into the 50 to 75% range, we're looking at someone who's got a really solid and consistent skill set.
When you're in this zone, you can pretty consistently tell the difference between a good argument and a bad one, between fact and opinion. That makes your contribution huge. You're the reliable voice of reason in the room. You're the one who guides decisions with a balanced view. And when things get crazy and the pressure is on, you can advocate for taking a step back and using a structured approach, so the team doesn't make a rushed mistake.
Basically, you become the team's anchor. You provide that steady, balanced perspective that people know they can count on, especially when things get tough.
And finally, let's look at that top tier, from 75 to 100%.
Okay, a score up here shows a really powerful advanced skill set. You can untangle the most complicated arguments and spot those tiny, hidden flaws that fly right past everyone else. Your contribution here is twofold. First, you can take on the toughest analytical problems for the team. But second, and this is maybe even more important, you can mentor others. You can help lift up the entire team's ability to think critically.
These strengths, that sharp judgment, that precision, these are the real signs of effective leadership. It's the ability to take a chaotic mess of information and turn it into a clear path forward.
So, we've defined the skill, we've seen why it's a total game changer at work, and we've looked at what it means at different levels. Now, let's turn all this insight into action.
This is where it all becomes real. So I'm going to leave you with this question. What is the very first assumption, that thing everyone just accepts as true, that you're going to challenge at work tomorrow? That's where this journey really starts. And hey, if you're ready to get a really clear, objective look at your own critical thinking skills, I'd really encourage you to check out the Humetrics assessment from the Humanology Assessment Center. It's a great tool that can give you those personalized insights to help you take that next step. Thanks so much for tuning in.